Hi, I'm Denise, and welcome back to Inside the Mind Meditations for Part 14 of the Fundamentals of Physical and Mental Relaxation. Before we begin, I would like to mention that many professionals recommend against mixing any kind of energy work with chemicals, including mind-altering drugs, pharmaceuticals, alcohol, and those chemicals found in commercial foods and products as well, and to avoid anything in excess at all. And toward that end, eventually, if the practice is kept long enough, you'll notice you are no longer able to tolerate consuming flesh foods as your body becomes less dense and can no longer tolerate the digestive process, especially that of beef and pork, which you will probably notice first. About that time, you'll notice fake foods make you sick too. Studies prove meditation decreases the density of the body. So when you arrive there or before, please understand organic, real foods without chemicals or poisons are available for human consumption. Moving on, I know we said originally we would allow people to use their own mantras so we wouldn't offend anyone who lived in fear of them. However, things change and many people want the mantras, so we will respect the many and apologize to the few, as having become familiar with the physical and emotional bodies, we'll all do better if we complete this trinity of self and use our brains to the best of their ability for the mental body. And don't worry, if you don't want to optimize use of your brain, uh, don't do the mantras. However, since no one is going to burn us at the stake for using our brains anymore to expand the mental body, we will move forward and use the mantras. Um, One thing about the mantras from the last podcast and this one, you'll note that the mantras sound uh, sort of funky on the audio. And just so you know, I've reduced them to barely above a whisper while chanting them, and am only doing them 1/3 of their length while recording, as, believe it or not, anything louder or longer creates such an electrical disturbance it's inaudible. Currently, I don't have a sound engineer to correct this, so we'll simply have to recognize it for what it is, as I've no other way to deliver them to you perfectly at this point. And considering all of these podcasts are for free. However, please feel free to do the mantras from your solar plexus when you do them, and as loud and long as your body and breath will allow. As we begin today's observations, please allow me to say, observe your mind, and you'll notice habits are your old life, your old ignorance. To know yourself is enlightenment. Only when we know ourselves can we make change, and when we change ourselves, everything else changes around us. So there is no reason then to ever ask anyone else to ever change anything, which cannot be done to our satisfaction anyway. But why do that when we can change ourselves to our satisfaction, or at least work toward that satisfying end? As we observe the mind, we notice it thinks much about things that never happen. Well, not in the way we thought things were going to happen or did happen if they happened at all. Regardless, it's good to allow the mind some time to ponder things or even rehearse them while observing it, so we can move the mind past fear and into great love, compassion, and empathy as it chooses to wander. And by focusing on body and breath while observing thoughts and the emotions they create and how they feel in the body, we are eventually able to keep the mind open through the heart while working with the breath, so that when troubles or challenges arise, we are able to deal with them in the moment or correct them a bit later if correction is required at all. However, if we try to stop the mind altogether through force, the mind will win. And the mind is part of our 10 bodies, so as we respect all others, we should respect the mind as well. And when we listen to the gut and abstain from doing things that are not comfortable for us, then we gain the trust of the mind and thus become friends with it. And when we become friends with the mind becomes friends with us. And when the mind is at ease and rest, we finally command the mind rather than being used by it. And these moments of quiet, new ways of doing things are born. Getting there takes a bit of time, but the path has many steps, as all others do, including the one we traveled that we are not aware of to get to this place we wish to leave. The first step in this path is becoming self-aware through practice meditation. The next step is to make meditation a practice in active living. The better we get at this, the more easily change comes in all things. And we will note that as we change and become better, some will celebrate our change, while others will resist it and try to draw us back to the old way of doing things through various mechanisms, most commonly anger and hate, as we leave that world behind. The choice is yours of where you want to stay or move to. Many are so crushed by dysfunctional lives, they are afraid to leave them, so return the minute outside resistance comes in, even though there is no comfort within that world. Thus the saying, one soul lost to heaven is another gained by hell. And we have the power to create either, or leave one for the other. The choice is ours. Of course, many don't like to admit they've chosen, as complaining and fighting is so much more easier. Or actually, really, is it? If we think about it, it's not. Then, as well, many think all their issues will be resolved once their body is gone, so they'll just wait out this life and find peace after death. But that's not actually how it works. We can only take with us what we've made in our hearts. And so it's a good idea to build something we love rather than something we don't care much for at all. I prefer love, so let's move forward in love, shall we? As we place great love in our hearts, I'd like to mention one thing before we begin meditation. Although visualization techniques are common in our practices, we move through feeling without visualization. The reason for this is feeling is pure energy, whereas visualization has an image and is therefore the first part of form. For instance, you can feel love, but you can't visualize it. I mean, certainly you can visualize someone who makes you feel love, but the feeling is a feeling, and the person is the person. Just as love has no form, neither does feeling. So basically, we work from where there is no form. And this may be difficult to work through feeling, as many are practiced in visualization, and regarding love, many have never felt it. But don't worry, regarding either, just as you learn one thing, you can learn another. Please lie flat on your back now with your spine straight, hands beside the hips, and palms up. And allow your eyes to rest comfortably as you settle in and make any last-minute adjustments for physical comfort. Become aware of your points of contact. And now your body as a whole. And once settled, allow your mind to wander, or to review the day's events, or rehearse for future events, or to conclude any thoughts you may have. Observe without judgment while remaining aware of the body, and notice the feelings these thoughts create in the body, pleasant or not pleasant, or perhaps neutral. And as you notice how these thoughts and feelings feel in the body, become aware of where they are attached to. Are the thoughts and feelings leaving the body feeling pleasant or not pleasant or neutral? If a particular thought or feeling persists, label it with one word and return to the overview of the body. And notice the energy these thoughts and feelings create within the body without judgment. Simply observe. Also notice the areas of the body that are in complete comfort and not attached to strong emotion. And opening your eyes softly, return your focus to your surroundings and look around the room so that you become entirely aware of your space. Notice the objects within and any sounds. And as you become aware of your surroundings, begin deep circular breathing at 100% capacity for 10 breaths. Inhale through the nose, filling the entire stomach, and then expand the breath into the chest and lungs. And after 10 breaths, return to soft breath. Exhale through the mouth, allowing the body to collapse as the breath leaves the body. In through the nose, out through the mouth. With the next breath, close your eyes and look up and out through your third eye, crossing the eyes as you look out in the distance, and relax the breath to a natural, soft breath. Allow the body to breathe while remaining aware of both, but retaining focus on the third eye. If the stress is too great on your eyes, look off in the distance a little further, where it's easier to retain focus on the third eye, but with less stress on the eyes, and remain aware of the body and breath. And as you do this, become aware of the energetic field of the body. And now, while lying on your back, let's activate our chi by rubbing the palms of the hands together at the same time that we rub the soles of our feet together. And having done that, please sit with the spine straight and move into prayer pose with 5 pounds pressure of the palms together and another 5 into the breastbone. Fingers angled out from the body 60 degrees, while the sides of the thumbs are pressed into the breastbone or heart center. And if you don't know how to do this, please start at the beginning of podcast 2. Now activate the thyroid by closing the eyes 9/10 of the way and staring at the tip of your nose, again crossing your eyes. And now we will tune in to the divine wisdom. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And now, while sitting in prayer pose, while still activating the thyroid, set your intention through great feeling from the heart, starting with, I ask this for myself and for whoever, and also for the entire universe. And then feel your intention deeply within your heart. And staying in prayer pose while keeping the thyroid activated, let's conclude our intention with the protection prayer. Guray, Nameh, Jugaad, Nameh, Saat, Nameh, Cidy, Daveigh, Nameh. Guray, Nameh, Jugaad, Nameh, Saat, Nameh, Cidy, Daveigh, Nameh. Guray, Nameh, Jugaad, Nameh, Saat, Nameh, Cidy, Daveigh, Nameh. And now lie down again with your spine straight and feel the body settle in. placing your hands in a comfortable position. And moving to 70% capacity, let's begin internal breathing. It's the new pattern. Please close your eyes softly and place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth at the hard palate located right behind the teeth in a very relaxed manner, and relax all the muscles in your face. And keeping the tip of your tongue on the hard palate, breathe in and out through the nose at 70%, becoming totally aware of the breath inside the nose, from the tip of the nose, including the movement of the hairs within as the air flows in and out of the nose. And as you become aware of the breath inside the nose and within the body, follow the sensation of the breath in stages. Follow the breath from your nose down to the center of your body and become progressively aware of it and the stages it makes on this course. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feel the breath through the nose now and to the back of the throat. And now follow it from the tip of the nose to the back of the throat and into the lungs, keeping the breath at 70%. And follow the breath from the nose to the throat, to the lungs, and now into the solar plexus. And this time move through the nose, the back of the throat, the lungs, the solar plexus, and into the navel center. And following the flow from the tip of the nose, throat, lungs, navel, follow the breath into the region between the navel and the pelvis where the second chakra is located. And continue breathing in and out with the tip of the tongue on the hard palate, face relaxed, inhaling through the nose at 70% and exhaling through the nose at 70%, and following the breath through the body all the way from the tip of the nose to the second chakra. And do this for 10 breaths, and then return to soft breath. And with the next breath, return to natural breath or soft breath, meaning there is no gap in time between the inhale or exhale. Breathe in and out through the nose, placing your hands over the pelvic region or on the belly, wherever you can feel most comfortably the rise and fall of the breath. And turn your attention to the body now, and without judgment, observe. Does your body feel heavy or light, tense or at ease? Feel the weight of the body as it sinks onto the surface you are lying on, observing the points of contact for the head, shoulders, back, hips, arms and hands, legs and feet. Feel them settle in comfortably, noticing the breath has returned to normal. Now turn the attention to the body, letting the points that want attention guide us. Notice areas of discomfort while also making note of areas of ease. Observe each for what it is. No judgments. And if the mind interrupts, note thinking or feeling, pleasant, not pleasant, or neutral. If the mind continues to interrupt, note what kind of thought or feeling you are having with one word, and return focus to the breath and body. And now let's do a full body scan through feeling without visualization. Just making note, discomfort or comfort. Starting with the forehead and the back of the head. The brow line and eyes. Ears, cheeks, and nose. Mouth and jaw. Noting areas of tension and ease. And allowing space to be made for balance. The throat and neck. Shoulders, front and back. And scanning now from the upper arms to elbows. And lower arms to wrists. And hands to fingertips. Allowing all to relax. Scan the chest and upper back now. upper abdomen and mid-back, lower abdomen and lower back, pelvic region and tailbone, hips, skin now from the tops of the thighs to the knees, both front and back. Lower legs to ankles, feet, and finally the toes, allowing all to be as it is, peace and not at peace. And now, feel the body as a whole. Simply become aware of it through feeling, without judgment, only observation. And now observe the breath in its natural state. This is called soft breath, as there is no gap in time between the inhale or the exhale. And notice, is the breath light and shallow, or full and deep? Is it rapid or slow? How does breath feel in the body? And notice as the breath changes. And if it helps, place your hands where you can feel the breath the most. And now, focus more deeply on the breath and count each inhale and each exhale as one breath. Count 1 to 10 until you reach 10, and then begin again. And now, without counting, but while keeping focus on the soft breath, please allow the mind its freedom to do as it will. It's always important to develop good habits so we have something to rely on. Remember, it's 40 days to break a habit, 90 days to make a new one, and 1,000 days for that habit to become who you are. So please begin by practicing your paramita meditation and active living today, meaning to check in with the body and breath while observing the mind and the emotions created, as we do during meditation. And be aware of situations before you move into them. Ground yourself and prepare yourself through focus on the breath. If something arises unexpectedly, make it a habit to move into the body and breath and observe yourself in a non-judgmental way, thus allowing you to observe others with the same consideration. And remember, as you observe yourself without judgment, to recognize thoughts or feelings, pleasant, not pleasant, or neutral. Label thoughts and feelings with one word if they persist. And don't worry if you forget, as long as you remember to set the intention and make a concerted effort to focus on the breath. Eventually, you'll remember, because it's become a habit. So if we set the intention of paramita every day within the first 5 minutes before we rise, as we get into the body and focus on the breath, and become aware of our surroundings and work to carry that with us after we actually rise, it will eventually begin to happen naturally throughout the day as we remember more and more to return to awareness of the mind, body, and breath, especially if we start the morning in this way. Now you may choose to go to sleep or be up and on with your day. And if you wish to go to sleep, if you are able, please comfortably turn your head to the right and drift off to the sound of my voice after having given gratitude for the day and tomorrow and for all week long. And if you wish to rise, please slightly turn your head to the left and become aware of your body, your fingers and toes, hands and feet, arms and legs, tummy and torso, shoulders, neck, face and head, and finally your body as a whole. And observe, does the body feel heavy or light, relaxed or tense? Now recognize your points of contact and become aware of the sounds around you. And open your eyes and become aware of your surroundings, the things you see and hear. And after giving gratitude for the day, while holding the feeling of joy in your heart, you may rise when you are ready. And I hope you had a great time at Inside the Mind Meditations. And please feel free to subscribe to our channel. We'd love to have you with us. As well, your comments are always appreciated. And good day or night. And I hope to relax and meditate with you soon.